There's an Avatar concert time?
Yep.
You didn't invite me?
Well, I wasn't planning on going at all, but then I was like, you know what? There might be exclusive merch there that I can get. I'm gonna go
That
for
is
it.
true. That is true. How much are
Plus,
these
like,
tickets?
no idea. Oh, the
Oh,
tickets. The tickets are like $90 for front row, so or
that's
like near front row.
not bad.
I know that's why. That's the only reason I'm like, if it was $300, I'd be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. But since it's like $90, I'm like, fuck it. I could just take an Uber down there, watch the concert, be all happy and shit, and then buy merch, and then go home. And then when I get back, I'm gonna play Wizard 101 because Jeets doesn't want to fucking finish Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm busy. I'm like, fucking bitch, I just want to finish it.
Me and Wheats finished it.
No way, you guys finished it?
We finished it. We have some opinion.
Dude, are you kidding me? You guys finished it first?
Mm-hmm. And Juan was sleeping through it half the time. So we had
And how
to
did you
do it over multiple days. But we could have finished it first time.
I'm about to call? I'm calling Jeets right now. He's working.
That
I'm just gonna text him. I just want to let you know, Felix and fucking Juan finished the game before us. You dick.
Welcome to the Glooby Podcast. I'm your host, Dominus Splayers, and with me, the one and only, Augustine Cruz. How are you, good sir? How are you?
For the record, it's Twisher Chunk 80, but whatever.
Switcher Chunk 80 for the first time on the Glooby Podcast. How are you? How are you?
All right.
That does track. That does track. We don't have the rest of the Gloobies because they hate us now. How are you, good sir?
I don't know. Right now, there's a stain on my monitor, and I'm just really trying to fucking figure out how to get rid of it.
We have a couple of topics for today.
Damn it, it's really bothering me now. Hold on.
Okay. Recently, I heard that you got a PC after like
I did.
3 years of not having a PC.
Oh yeah, and it's great. It's great having a PC, and then my friends who kept bugging me to get a PC are just constantly unavailable or don't want to play.
That is very
Great.
true.
All right, so what are these topics you want to talk about so we can get this
we have
podcast on the way?
That is very true. Wizard 101.
You just
is
made that one up.
One of the many games in which we, the Gloobies, have been very confused about your massive enthusiasm on. The other one is Among Us. It's getting a console port. What makes Wizard
Yes.
101 that important to you?
Well, when I was a kid, I did have a computer, a very, very old-timey computer. The ones with the big-ass box in the back. Yes, and I played Push 101 on those. And it was great. I had my little dragons. I had my little fire lion thing. I think it was a fire lion. It was on 4 legs, and it was just made of lava, and it was great. I played that game like religiously when I was a kid, like with Club Penguin and shit. And it wasn't until that I reached a paywall, a literal
Ooh.
paywall. You walk around the whole places, the world, and everything, and then you hit a wall, and it's like you can't continue on unless you pay. So the first ever paywall right there, Wizard 101. And that's when I stopped playing because I was like, I'm a kid, I don't have money. But now I'm an adult.
You are an
And
adult.
and I have adult money, and now I can use that adult money to play Wizard 101 and be the best.
There you go. There you go. But isn't it time for you to play Pirates 101?
No, I never understood why the hell they made that.
But it's so cool. It's so awesome.
Never understood why they made that Pirates 101.
I don't really understand why they made Wizard 101 on consoles. Are you gonna play it on console or PC?
Oh, just I'm gonna play it on console because they apparently they're gonna have it for all consoles, but it's only console cross-platform. So if I had the PC one, I can't really cross-platform on both. Which, by the way, I wouldn't even know my old account anyways. By the way, though, it is kind of a stupid thing, and this relates to Augie Luck once again.
That is true.
That in like years that you guys have been asking me to get a PC, I finally get one, and my first thought was I can finally play PC exclusive games like Wizard 101. And then the very next fucking week, out of nowhere, a 20-year-old game decides, guess what? We're coming to consoles.
There you go. There you go.
Augie Luck is real.
Augie Luck is surprisingly our next topic. I guess we'll jump onto that. For the viewers out there, can you explain Augie Luck real quick?
Well, think of the most random bullshit occurrence that you think there's no way that could happen, right? It happens. With me, it happens. And I really should be making a list of this shit because it happens so often that yeah, like I think it was Jeets that coined it. There was like Augie Luck, and I was like, shut up. That like I thought you were just making fun of me and shit. But it's happened so much over the last few years that I'm like, holy shit, it's real. It actually like yeah, it's just real. It works.
It is very real, and it's very funny when it happens.
I'm trying to like I really should write these down because I'm trying to think. Anytime people ask me for examples, I draw a blank. But when they do happen, I can immediately call it as Augie Luck because I'm like, it. Say for example, like a bridge. Okay, I'll give you an example. Like not a real life example, but an example of what Augie Luck is. Say a bridge that has literally been completely fine for the past century. Everyone walks across it. The second that I touch it, it breaks. That's the type of Augie Luck that works. Oh, I actually do have one. So, I can drive, but I don't have my license.
That is true.
But, so I was.
As all Mexicans do.
I was planning. Oh, shut up. I was planning on, like, going on a short drive just to the store and back, and I finally gained the confidence to do that. Tell me why, when I'm walking out of my house, with keys in hand, ready to go inside the car, a freaking car. By the way, I live in a neighborhood, not in the streets type of neighborhood. Like, you pull up, like you're on the streets and you can pull up on the house on that same street. No, I live in a neighborhood inside a neighborhood. So tell me why, as soon as I'm walking out with the keys in hand, a car crash happens in front of my house.
That is awesome.
A literal car crash and these guys were mad at each other, dude. They started like it was bumper cars just hitting each other, and I was like, what the fuck? And eventually they just like speed away, just drive off all in anger and shit. Like I think one of them was chasing the other, just speed through my whole neighborhood. I immediately turn around. I'm like, nope, fuck that. That's God telling me I am not supposed to be driving today.
To be fair, that is Milwaukee roads. Although you live in a nicer area.
Yes,
that's
exactly. So like that's not common. It isn't common, and it happens in front of my house, in front of my driveway, when I'm barely about walking to the car. Yeah, hell no, that was a sign. I'm like, nope, I'm not turning it down today.
But what if they were both trying to park in front of your house to take a selfie?
Well, the fact that they were trying to, bumper carting each other, I don't think they were very concerned about getting a picture. So
I don't know. I usually get mad whenever Jason beats me to your house.
Yeah, you guys are weird for that. I swear, if someone shoots you, I'm not gonna feel sad at your funeral.
We're just taking pictures in front of your house.
Yes,
we're not breaking into your house. We're just like on the curb.
Yeah, we're just on the curb staring like fucking weirdos.
I think you don't need to see like 90% of all the MCU to get it. You can skip around quite a bit.
Yeah, that's valid. The main Avengers movies. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could. Wait, no, because you need to see Civil War. Civil War is definitely on that list of you definitely need to watch it, or else everything else is confused. Because you can't go from Age of Ultron to Infinity War, and they're like, oh, we broke, the band broke up together, and be like, what the fuck,
That is true.
A lot of shit just wouldn't make any sense. That's true. A lot of people say that it should have been Avengers Civil War, which honestly, maybe, but I guess since it's Captain America related, it's fine either way.
What's your least favorite movie in each phase?
In each phase? Oh crap. Do you have a list? Please tell me you have a list of the phases. Oh dude, we should do a tier ranking one day of just random shit. If you want a long ass podcast, we could do a tier ranking of Pokemon. Just literally Pokemon. Just like, okay, this one here, this one here, this one here. Let's see. Let's can you zoom in on the first one, the first phase? Okay, good. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Scroll through them. Let's name the worst and the best. Okay? Let's go off with worst.
Worst is Thor. Best?
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I'm gonna say Thor is the worst, but it's definitely not bad. I just think it's out of all of these, it's the worst. Like out of the first phase, it's kind of the worst.
But what happens in Thor?
That's why I don't remember. All I remember is that he's the unworthy scene, the fact that he was fighting the frost giants, the rainbow bridge, and the famous meme. I like it. Another.
What's your favorite out of these?
My favorite out of these? Oh, this is gonna be controversial, dude. This is gonna be so controversial. I'm not gonna lie. I think Captain America. No,
Captain
Captain
America.
America. Yeah, I think Captain America is my favorite.
That is quite the choice. I wouldn't say it's a bad choice though. Can you
I
explain
just I
why?
don't
Explain why.
I don't know what it was about it. I just love the fact that like just Cap itself, Cap himself as a character was just so fucking great. Like I loved him so much. He was such a great person. And plus, like I think when I first ever watched these movies, I knew of the characters, but I didn't know their origins like at all. So I didn't really know Cap's origin until then. And it was actually I think I can't remember I watched. No, I didn't watch this one. I don't think I watched Captain America in theaters. Did I? I can't remember, but I do remember somewhat like that I saw Captain America, and then a little bit after that, I've like Avengers, the trailer for Avengers came out, and I was like, oh shit! So it's all connected. Like that's when I was like, oh my god, this is all connected.
Oh my god.
Because I won't lie, I didn't see the post credit scenes for a lot of the ones in the past. I didn't see any of the posts because I didn't know, back then like no one back then no one stayed in the credits.
I did.
For these type of movies. I
Oh,
did.
well, not for
I'm
this
like
ones.
yeah, for these type of like back then you didn't stay for the credits. As soon as the credits rolled, you're like, okay, we're gone.
That's true.
But
However,
it wasn't until these movies started to do it that you were like, okay, we should start staying for these things. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, I think Captain America was my favorite. Avengers is clearly a close second, but Captain America was my favorite out of Phase 1. What about you?
For me, it'd probably be Iron Man. I love Iron Man. At least the first one. The second one, I'm like 50-50. It's slowly growing on me. I know a lot of people have some things about that. The Incredible Hulk, I always thought the Incredible Hulk was the other one, and the other one was this one. And so I kept confusing which one was like the main MCU Hulk.
Are you kidding? It's the Hulks clearly like they look so comically different, dude. It's so stupidly different.
No, but I mean, because I used to watch these films like on a bootleg thing, because some guy on a CD.
Yeah, same. I think that's how I watched Captain America.
Exactly,
I was
that's
like,
how
this is cool. And then I watched Avengers in theaters. I was like, awesome.
That's how I watched all like 90% up until like being Ant-Man, or no, I think until like Winter Soldier. All of these and the ones prior were all bootleg.
No way.
So I got both Hulks, and I was like, which one's which? I was like, they're both the same.
I won't lie. I didn't watch Incredible Hulk. I didn't watch. I won't be honest. I watched Iron Man, Iron Man 2. I watched Thor, Captain America, Avengers. I didn't watch Incredible Hulk. And then when Avengers came out, like clearly the actor was different. So I was like, okay, maybe that one isn't the same one. But then people confirmed, be like, no, this is the same Hulk. They just changed actors. I was like, what the hell? But whatever. But I will say, I do miss the way Hulk looked in his original movie. He looked insanely angry. Yeah, like right there, just insanely angry.
He got downgraded quite a bit.
Yes, I did.
I will say from these, I don't think I watched Captain America: First Avenger.
That's crazy. You missed out.
I did, definitely. I probably would have liked Captain America more, but I didn't see all of these in order. I got Iron Man and then the Avengers, and then I slowly started to like sprinkle through everywhere else.
I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure about this, but I think in Incredible Hulk, he's like, there's a scene where he's running through like a blizzard or whatever, like in the Antarctic, and you can see Cap's shield in an iceberg, which I thought was really cool. I'm not entirely sure about that. Oh yeah, it was a deleted scene. I think it was a deleted scene.
There you go. Kind of thing.
Next phase.
We have
Are we counting movies and shows separately? Because I'm gonna be honest, I have not watched a single show of these.
Me neither. I remember seeing these and being like, this is stupid. Because this is when I got fatigued. I got fatigued immediately after Avengers.
Seriously?
I was like big into. I wasn't that big into like superheroes. I was like, oh, Avengers, okay, it's over. And then they started putting shows. It's like, ooh, they're trying to milk this shit.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they put shows.
Okay. I mean, I like it now, but
me too. But like, okay, let's focus on these movies right here. Okay.
We got these.
Okay, let's pick first the worst one.
I'm gonna say Thor.
Yeah, same here.
It's always the Thor films.
I'm not gonna lie. If Thor Dark World, yeah, Thor Dark World was definitely my least favorite. But if I had to go for a second on this list as the worst, I'd say Iron Man 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like they just made Iron Man 3 just to make it like into a trilogy. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
we made 1 and 2, so let's just make a third one to wrap it up, and then you can be Avengers all the time. But like, I don't know, dude. It's just to me, it was just like, okay, that makes no sense. I won't lie though, Thor Dark World had a very good music or original soundtrack, especially for spoilers if you haven't seen it, but whatever. His mom's funeral, like holy shit, was that music was great. Still one of the best. Yeah, it was still one of the best. Okay, so now favorite. Fuck, this is hard. This is really hard.
This is tough. However, I think I'm gonna have to go with Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember Age of Ultron. There were some parts I liked, but I was not feeling it as much. But I think that was just because of the time. Because I watched it kind of shortly after Avengers, and I was like, this is okay. Thor's definitely the worst. Iron Man 3, I think over time I thought it was the worst. I don't think it's that bad anymore.
It's not that bad, yeah, but it's still like if we had to solely base it on these, it'd be second worst for me.
Indeed. Ant-Man wasn't that bad, but I
liked Ant-Man. I didn't think it was bad at all.
think it was like,
I thought it was great. Ant-Man was such a like refreshing take on it because okay, let's be honest, like from above to until Guardians, there was no comedy in the MCU. Almost zero comedy. We had Iron Man's like witty remarks and shit, which would get a chuckle and shit.
Sure.
But like a straight up almost pure comedy too. Like I don't think we had that until Guardians and Ant-Man.
That is true. And then the quality dipped massively
because then they started focusing solely on comedy, and like I hated that. I hated when MCU was like, oh, we have to have a joke in here. We have to have a fart joke in here. I'm like, why do we need this? Keep it serious.
There you go.
Like they're like it just I don't know. Like I miss the type of action scenes or suspense scenes like Winter Soldier had. Winter Soldier had like the best suspense scenes.
Explain.
Like okay, first of all, Winter Soldier's theme, dude, it went hard. When he was in a scene, he made a statement. And let's say for example, what's that guy's name? The bald guy with glasses. I'm trying to remember his name. He was an agent.
Jasper Stillwell.
Yeah, Stillwell. There you go. Dude, when like his death scene in the movie was just like crazy. Like Winter Soldier just grabs him and just flings him out of the car and just gets hit by a truck. And it came out of nowhere, so I was like, oh shit! Like it's suspense scenes like that were great. Plus, I fucking loved. I just loved Cap as a character, dude. I fucking loved everything he was doing. It was awesome. Taking down a fucking not helicarrier, but like an attack jet, like that was shooting at him just by himself with a shield. I thought it was raw. Let's see. But I think my favorite, if I had to choose between all these, crap. I don't know.
It is very tough. I will say the only reason why I chose Guardians is because I haven't seen Captain America.
Of course you did it. You missed out on so much. Okay.
Indeed, Captain America was like one of the last like films that we.
I could just from those two I could tell you just don't like Cap that much.
No, I like Cap because I remember seeing like the animated show with like Ultimate Spider-Man. They did a couple crossovers or whenever he like appeared with Phineas and Ferb. It was just like, oh my god, Captain
America. Was that canon, by the way? Because I
don't know.
I completely skipped that episode because I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. This is weird.
Well, to be fair, they did a Star Wars one too.
I know. I only watched clips of that one too. I was like, this is also weird. I don't need this immersion. I don't. I'm not okay. Okay. For watching repeatedly, I won't lie. I think I'll stick with Ant-Man.
Ooh.
And Guardians. Mostly Ant-Man. Guardians is still up there. But if I had to pick my favorite, I would pick Age of Ultron. Simply, I know it's gonna be a hot take because a lot of people when this movie came out were like, this movie sucks, blah blah blah. And like they did Ultron dirty, which I do agree. I watched this movie and I was like, okay, they defeated Ultron. Everyone's complaining about it. I don't know why. But then I watched the cartoons, and then I read Ultron like in the comics, and I was like, holy shit, they really fucked up Ultron in this.
It was certainly a take.
Like he's definitely like up there when it comes to like big Avengers bosses and shit or villains. And I don't know, I just like the fact that like this was an Avengers movie where all of them are hanging out together. All like almost a bunch of characters from different movies are coming together for this. We finally had Rhodey from Iron Man 2 in an Avengers movie. We had Falcon for a little bit in it, but like, you know, just talking with Cap. And dude, I to this day I still love the fact that we had that the opening scene for this movie was amazing. Like all of them fighting Hydra at once, like in the base, and that one shot of all of them fighting it, dude. I was like, holy shit, this is Avengers. And I hate the fact that after this movie, we never really got that again. We never got the Avengers. Yeah, we never got the main Avengers or the original team fighting side by side again. Like the way the way it looked at least, because that's what was different. Thor, yeah, like Thor was fat with his beard and everything, so that was a little different in the future movies. Let's see what else. Hawkeye was Ronin. Black Widow was never with the whole team again after this movie. And then we had Hulk. Hulk was just like they changed him to Smart Hulk, and I was like, dude, what? Like, no, I need, you know, the Incredible Hulk, not this. Oh, I want to do your taxes, Hulk. Like, holy shit.
Was it that scene?
Yeah, this is the last scene where you have like all the Avengers, like all of them in their original peak forms, together, like as Avengers fighting together. This was the last movie.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Because at the end of it, apparently Iron Man supposedly retires, Thor goes back to Asgard, Hulk just leaves somewhere, and I think Hawkeye also retires. So it's just like she's literally just Cap and Black Widow and like a bunch of other small like side Avengers.
That is true.
So that's why I count this one as my favorite for this out of this phase. I guess for this phase, because out of Process of Elimination, because you know, like it's just they were so fucking cool. Like this was the Avengers movie, like all of them together, and then afterwards they're just never together again, and I found that really sad. But anyways, let's move on. Wait, no, you didn't tell me your favorite, did you? You said Guardians, and then what was your worst? Thor?
My worst was Thor. I like the music in Guardians. I like that a lot. I was like, oh my god, it's the 70s and 80s. I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, I forgot you do love that music.
I fucking love
that. This movie got me into that music. I was like, oh, this goes hard.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's bringing it to, or is it a different guy? This is not Schneider. This is the same director for Superman, right? Or is it a different director?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name?
That's what I'm blanking.
Well, it should be on the credits, no? I forgot it. I don't know why I'm blanking on these names. Like I always remember them like when I'm not. Yes, James Gunn. He I don't know. Well, you probably already. Do you know this? Why he's? Because he brought Guardians to life, and honestly, no one knew about Guardians until the MCU like really brought them to life, and he made them work. But apparently he got fired at some point because of some tweet he made or something like years ago. Mm-hmm. And they fired him for it, and he was very respectful about it. He was like, okay, you know, you got to do what you got to do, fire me or whatever. Like that's, you know, it's what he didn't make a big deal out of it like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then when they fired him, DC was like, oh shit, free money right here. Like this guy made Guardians a thing, and like he was amazing at it. So they hired him. Not just to make a movie. They hired him as like the new head of DC. I mean, like we need to completely reboot the DC universe, and we're gonna put you, James Gunn, as like the top person for it. And he was like, all right, I'll take it. And then after that, because he was such a good sport about his firing or whatever, apparently Disney was like, you know what, we're gonna rehire you back, and you're gonna finish, like, can you finish Guardians? And he was like, okay, sure. But then after that, I'm pretty sure even like Dave Bautista, the Drax right there on the right, I'm pretty sure he was really close with Gunn, so he was like, you know what, if he's getting fired, like I'm quit too, whatever. But James Gunn told him like, no, don't do that, like finish Guardians or whatever. And they did finish Guardians, and then after that, now he's working for DC, which to me, I'm just like, hell yeah, go, you know, good for him, dude. Like he Yeah, he made the best out of that entire situation. He got fired, but he was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it with pride, and now he's quote unquote technically working for the enemy now. So Marvel
Yes.
lost a really good director, and I am hoping, which is very very unlikely, but it'd be really great if we can get these two universes to cross over, because I'm pretty sure we've got comics crossover Marvel and DC.
Every now and then, yeah.
So it would be so cool to have, like, I need them to do more instead of putting money into these TV shows and shit. I need them to do more with like main movies. Like it would be so fucking cool to have the original actors and everything for a one solo movie of like Marvel Zombies. Imagine having the entire like cast, and you could totally do it. You could totally have a shit ton of actors be in a Marvel Zombies movie, almost all of them, and you can have them die like left and right because it's Marvel Zombies. No one ever survives. Like, not a lot of characters survive in Marvel Zombies.
A lot of characters do die in Marvel Zombies. But the one
So you
character
could totally-
that has not died is Spider-Man.
No, he did die in the comics.
Oh, well.
He was like literally one of the first people to die.
Well, that's because the writer didn't know what he was doing.
Well, he's not. Yeah, he was not die, but he was a zombie. He turned fast. Okay, let's just move on to the next. Let's move on to Phase 3. This is gonna be tough.
Quite a bit of films. We have Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Endgame, Far From Home.
Oh, this is gonna be very very controversial.
Oh snap!
This is gonna be I think this might be my most controversial take on this podcast thing. Not the whole podcast, but like on this specific episode.
There you go.
Okay, I know the worst movie on here, and it's not because no, it's not Thor Ragnarok. No, it's not. Are you kidding me? No, it's not Black Panther. I will say one thing about Black Panther though. First of all, I love the fucking movie. I love the fact that they got Denai Guerrera as Okoye. I thought that was fucking raw, dude. Oh my god, I thought that was raw. And Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, I thought it was awesome. Chadwick Boseman killed it as Black Panther again. I don't like the fact that they changed his suit. I will understand though, because like he was going through a lot. He had cancer when he was doing the whole shoot, and he said that his suit from Civil War, apparently it was hard for him to breathe in it. But god, dude, his suit from Civil War compared to the suit he has in Black Panther, I was like, dude, it's so raw. It looks so cool. Okay, so my controversial take though is Captain Marvel, out of all these, was the worst movie for me. But my second worst, and people are gonna say, oh, because you didn't like the actress or whatever. No, I didn't care for any of that. I was like, who cares? It's Captain Marvel. Plus, it had one of the better post-credit scenes than a lot of these movies. But I will say that was the worst. But my second worst movie in this entire phase was Spider-Man: Homecoming. And it's pretty close to being the worst movie in this phase. I did not like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I can see why.
You wanna jump in?
It is not the best Spider-Man one. I think it's good to say it's the worst when you have Avengers and no, I'm kidding.
Shut up.
But when you have Far From Home.
No, Far From Home was way better than Homecoming.
You thought...
Way better than Homecoming. I'm sorry, but
I think I had more fun with Homecoming than I did Far From Home. I don't really care for the two, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
If it had to be between those two, like, which one do you want to watch, Homecoming or Far From Home? I'm picking Far From Home. First of all, they baited us with Iron Man in the trailers. Like, you remember that scene in the first trailer for Homecoming where like Iron Man and Spider-Man are swinging, or like just flying through, or just at the end? That
is true.
They in the poster too, like they baited us with that. Second, like, I really did not give a shit about Peter's like relationship with Liz. I did not like this. When I watched this first, then what's the cartoon again called? The Amazing Spider-Man? Spectacular Spider-Man. Yes, they did such a better, of course, because it's a cartoon and because it's a show and they have way more time to like flesh out the characters and everything. but I felt way more like invested in Liz and Peter's relationship on there than I ever did in Homecoming. Homecoming just fucking was so fucking boring. I was like, dude, I don't care that Peter like just even the post credit scenes are boring. None of them were important.
I think you're slowly starting to win me over.
It's just it's not it. I don't. Okay, let's see. For example, Vulture. Which I'm not gonna lie, what's his name? Michael Keaton? Was it?
I think
Michael
so.
Keaton? He did. I'm not gonna lie. He did like a pretty fucking good job as Vulture. I think he did a pretty good job as Vulture. Like the backstory was pretty great. He was just a normal guy. It's like, dude, we have a bunch of work and like we can't take care of it. And they're like, no, you can't. And they just fucking kick him out like nothing. And then he becomes a Vulture and starts stealing shit. I think that was cool. I love the fact that we had Uncle Aaron in this movie. Technically, I absolutely love it. I hate the fact that that they got rid of the Miles comment. That could have been a post-credit scene right there. That deleted scene where like he's still stuck on his car, and he's like, Miles, I'm sorry, Miles, I can't make it to the party or whatever. Like, I thought that would have been fucking cool. I mean, like, that's awesome. Set up for fucking Miles Spider-Man at some point. But no, they got rid of it. Let's see. I don't know. I just didn't like this movie whatsoever. No.
So by the way, put Ant-Man and the Wasp over that one.
Oh yeah, I would. Because I like Ant-Man. I actually like Ant-Man. And yeah, it had a lot of comedy, and it wasn't the best. I prefer Ant-Man over Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I do like Wasp's fighting scenes. There was a lot of scenes that shouldn't be, that I was like, you could have skipped this, you could have skipped this, you could have skipped this. I like the truth serum scenes, and I like Luis. Luis is just always funny whenever he's on screen. Sometimes it's a bit annoying, but I'm just like, when I look back on it, I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny. It makes me chuckle. But also, I like Ghost. I like the fact that Ghost is eventually Ghost becomes an Avenger, which I thought was a different change, but I was like, okay, like that works. And her powers are fucking awesome. Plus, I think we can all agree that we liked the post-credit scene for that movie. I also found funny when I first saw it on screen. I was like, so they did all this work and effort to bring this woman back from the quantum realm, and then she fucking dies immediately when she's back. I thought it was hilarious. Now, best movie. Oh wait, no. Do you want to say your worst? Actually, yeah. I'm curious. What's your worst? Because you said Thor Ragnarok, but
I was gonna go with Thor. The more I was thinking about it, I think this is the best Thor, or not Thor. Mainly because of how the Hulk is depicted. I think I remember the Hulk far more than I do the Thor storyline.
Yes, and like Hulk was like meant like. I want to say, and I love the fact that Hulk was actually talking in this film. I was like, holy shit, finally Hulk talks. Like, I love the fact that Hulk was talking in this film. And like him being like a fucking warrior and shit, like I thought he looked raw. It almost made me think back to the first original Hulk we had. Plus, I didn't, when I heard that Chris Hemsworth was cutting his hair for this movie, I was like, what the fuck? They were getting rid of like Thor's iconic look. But I don't know, it grew on me. And then like that final scene. That final scene where he's fighting it like on the bridge, I thought was raw. I was like, yes, this is the God of Thunder, dude. It was awesome. So wait, what is your worst film then?
I have to say it again. So and then no, okay.
Shut up.
There's some problems in it, but it's not my worst. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay. I remember it being
mid for you.
Not as strong or as memorable, so I don't actually remember too much from it. But I don't think it was like the worst one.
Okay, so
I would have put Far From Home, but you're actually convincing me a little bit and putting Homecoming.
I defend Far From Home for like a few, because when I went to go see it, I was like, it's not that good. But there was just so many things that make the movie kind of great that I was like, no, it actually is great. It's a great movie. Far From Home, I'll tell you the things that make it great. First of all, because it's the MCU, and the MCU has a huge habit of making villains into heroes, or even some heroes into villains. I legitimately thought, like, going into this movie, I knew Mysterio was a bad guy. I knew he was a bad guy from the beginning, and I knew his illusions were like were illusions. But when this movie came out, I originally did get like shell shocked, like, what the fuck? He actually is the villain? Fuck, I hate that. Especially because Nick Fury was like a was like very into it, be like, oh no, this is the real threat, and Mysterio's helping. So I was like, okay, so then maybe in the MCU, Mysterio's maybe gonna be an actual hero or some shit. But then they reveal that he's the bad guy and everything, and I was like, what? I was genuinely mind fucked. I was like, damn it. Also disappointed. I was like, damn it. He seemed like a really, really good guy. Plus, and at the end, I was really pissed. I was like, what the fuck? Nick Fury didn't do shit in this movie, and then it turns out he was a Skrull, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. I really, really wish that in this movie, when they revealed Nick Fury was a Skrull, I wish that it was an evil Skrull, not a, because apparently he was a good one from Captain Marvel. So and then they revealed that Sword exists and shit like that. But I was really hoping that like it was an evil Skrull and it was like, and then that was gonna set up for Skrull invasion down the line, but it didn't happen. Plus, this movie sets up for No Way Home, which I thought was really cool. At the end of the post credit scene when he reveals that Peter's Spider-Man, I was like, "Oh!" I did the same thing. I was like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, and it sets up for No Way Home, which I thought was awesome. Like, and plus, it gives Peter, and it gives pretty much the audience too, being like, "This is why he doesn't reveal his." Because in the comics, in the video games, in almost every media outside the MCU, like Peter was definitely like a type of, you know, or a Spider-Man was definitely the person like, I'm not showing my identity no matter what. Like, I'm not showing my identity. Even with the Avengers, he consistently wears his masks, and these are the Avengers. So I'm just like, okay. But in the MCU, he always has his mask off, and I get it, Tom Holland and everything, but like, I just like the fact that this one was like edging more towards like, okay, this he's becoming classic Spider-Man, like more and more. Like now, and after this movie, he definitely has a reason to be like, no, I'm not taking off my mask. Like, you guys can just call me Spider-Man. I hate you, dude. Why am I in this podcast? I should just go.
I didn't.
I'm gonna leave.
What's the importance of the scroll? I'm assuming it has to do with like Captain Marvel, but I didn't understand that when that happened. And it might also be because I was like hopping between movies here and there. I wasn't full in order.
Okay, so do you know the Secret Invasion? You watched the original Avengers cartoon, right? So
Yeah.
you must know about the Secret Invasion storyline, right?
I have a vague memory of it.
Okay, so let me give you a rundown. Secret Invasions is pretty much, which they, by the way, they absolutely butchered, insanely butchered in the fucking MCU.
That's what I hear.
It could have been one of the greatest storylines in the fucking MCU, and they destroyed it completely. I thought it was terrible. Okay, so, and I think that solidifies like how the MCU has gone downhill. So the Secret Invasion storyline is pretty much like they had everything down to memories to skills and everything. They would literally just copy one by one.
When did they first appear? Because I remember Brody was one of them, I think.
Yeah, Rhodey was apparently one of them, and I hated that. I hated the fact that they. So like now throughout this, they did that and they did nothing with it. That's why the Skrull invasion was terrible. They did that with they might have because people were absolutely furious about it. So if they didn't retcon it, that would mean that because when in Skrull invasions in the show, when they find Rhodey in a containment place with like a bunch of other people that were kidnapped by Skrulls, they found him in a hospital gown, and that hospital gown, people were thinking like, holy shit, has he been a Skrull since Civil War? You know, when he falls and like he's in the hospital and he's getting that CT, he's got that same hospital gown and shit. People were like, holy shit, did they really kidnap him from there? And he's been a Skrull since Civil War. So that means everything throughout Civil War until Skrull invasion, Rhodey was a Skrull, and people were pissed about that because Rhodey didn't do anything. He didn't literally do anything. Like in Endgame, he just like, there's a sad mode between Rhodey and Tony, and people were like, so that was a Skrull? Like, that was a Skrull this one time? I don't know. People were just mad at the fact that like, and I was too. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, so Rhodey doesn't know that the Avengers are gone. His best friend is dead. He doesn't know that he's supposedly supposed to have robot legs or some shit because he was kind of limping or whatever. He's still paralyzed from that from Civil War. Dude, Skrull invasion would have been so fucking cool. I really think they fucked it up so bad on it. They could have had so much. There's just, I don't know. It was just really bad, and they really fucked up. Which I understand why people are mad at the fact that they fucked up Skrull invasion, because it was supposed to be really fucking good. Felix, you would have been. Think of Spectacular Spider-Man writing. It was that god tier. Like, it was just fucking good, man. Skrull invasion was great. Even Hulk, like nobody was immune to like becoming to being replaced by a Skrull. Even Hulk could have been a Skrull, and no one would have known. But yeah, they fucked that up. So then, wait, what's your worst Your worst film here. So mine was Homecoming.
There's a lot of shit that I didn't understand. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore that and hope that it's not that important. Man, you really convinced me. I think it probably has to be Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming
be
is
fair,
definitely the worst for me.
It's not a bad film.
Okay, now favorite film.
Favorite film? It was gonna be. I kind of want to give it to Infinity War.
That's fair. That's valid. A lot of people give Infinity War better remarks than Endgame, and I have to go with Endgame though. I think Endgame was my favorite.
That certainly is a take. I think